Hi, my name is Darren Hartwell, and on behalf of the National Tractor Pullers Association, I would like to welcome our 2019 Mini Modified Champion, Ken Veney and Rona Veney, with the funny Lil Farmall. Ken, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Rona, congrats.
Thank you.
So Ken, you've had a long storied career in motorsports. This is your third NTPA Grand National title. You won one in Modified, you won in Unlimited, and now the Mini Modified. How does it feel to win in 3 different divisions?
I feel pretty lucky. I feel lucky that I'm 79 years old and I can still do things like this. To me, that I'm either blessed or lucky, whatever it is. I'm really happy about that, and I have a wife that supports me. That makes it easier. And let's see, what else could I say? That's it.
Nice, nice. So Ken, walk us through your motorsports career. I mean, we all know you as the legend. How did you get started in motorsports and then move into tractor pulling?
Well, I started in motorsports. At 13, I had a Model A Ford that I cut the roof off of and was going to make a hot rod, and wound up, I paid $15 for it and went to the junkyard. And then my dad was concerned about me hot rodding his car, and he helped me get a car, and then I had to make it faster. You know, in 1956, I was 16 years old, and I built my first hopped up motor, and just kind of been fiddling with, I fiddled with it as a hobby from then on. And I was always kind of involved in it, in having an automotive business, a Goodyear tire dealer. I was just always involved in cars, and had little cars that I took to the drag strip and ran them and had fun. And a friend of mine talked me into going in partners with him and having an injected, unblown funny car when they were first getting started, and that's what I did. And unfortunately, I loved every minute of it. I mean, it was just one of the best parts of my life, being able to do that. And we traveled all over the nation with, in the summer we had the kids, and in most of our racing, running NHRA, was in the summer. And it used to be mostly in the East Coast, so it worked out just perfect. It's just that one day I realized, kids in college, house payment, shop payment, I had set the NHRA National AA fuel funny car record, ET, or speed and tie. I just felt like, by golly, there's a lot of things to do yet in drag racing, but I did do most of what I wanted to do. And I always wanted that fuel funny car, and from the first time I ever seen one, that's what I wanted to do. And so I thought, it's time to take care of the business. And so that ended my drag racing, period, 1985, as a driver owner. Gotcha.
So how did you get started in tractor pulling?
Well, I got started in tractor pulling by a drag racing friend took me to a tractor pull. I mean, I grew up on a farm, so I was driving tractors before I ever drove cars. But this friend took me to a local tractor pull, and I thought, yeah, that's kind of interesting, but I don't think I'm really that interested in that. And then I happened to sell parts to one of the nicest guys in pulling, who is Wayne Roush, and he had this 2-wheel drive truck, and one day he brought it by my shop just to show me this 2-wheel drive truck, and he said, someday that's what you need to be doing. And I thought, oh, that's pretty neat. It's got one engine, supercharged. It's right down my alley. And I thought, someday I'm going to do that. But I was too busy tuning, being a crew chief, tuning other people's cars. But then I thought, that Mini seems like a fun little thing. So that was basically my first real car, or tractor. I had a Mini in 1994, and there was only 7 or 8 pulls, and it really wasn't fun. It was fun, but that wasn't enough for all the effort that it took to do it. So I thought, next year I'll run a modified. but I was just so busy. I was tuning Chrysler Corporation's car at the time, and I was so busy with that it just set till 2000. And then in 2000 we took the old modified out and was a local puller basically. Never went more than 100 miles from home and had a good time doing it. But then it was like, I wanted to do a little more and a little more, and I started doing a little more NTPA, and you know, I just kind of stepped my program up a little bit, and I've had fun doing the whole thing. You know, at my 79 years, I don't think there's anything that I did that I didn't turn a big project into having fun. I was able to have fun while learning how to do things, and I just love the whole motorsports thing, period. Every bit of it. I raced late model in the dirt for a little bit. I just love any kind of automotive sports. In the tractor pulling, it's a lot of fun. I try and keep it on a fun scale. I don't want it to be nerve-wracking and upset stomach, and I mean, I've already been that. You know, yeah. I don't need that anymore. So I have a good time, and as long as I'm having fun doing this, I'm going to keep doing it. I don't think age has anything to do with it. Because, you know, a person that has fun doing what they're doing, I don't think really gets old. You know,
no, absolutely not.
It's really a good thing for my wife and I, and we started running this little mini, and her and I just did it. But we'd get to the pulls, and sometimes it was kind of hard to get someone to help do this and that. And then Marty Wilson played into the picture, and he's been going and helping me for quite a few years now. I don't remember how many, 3 or 4 years, but it's really helped a lot. And I wouldn't trade any of this for anything else. I mean, it's a great life. There's a lot of pullers that, or I'll put it this way, there's a lot more pullers that are good guys that help you do whatever you want to do than we ever had in drag racing. You know, the people are just tops.
Yeah,
you couldn't,
absolutely.
You know, you couldn't ask for a better group of people than like the people that I compete with or against. And the spectators that come around, they have a respect for what you're doing and always treat you nice. It's a great thing.
Absolutely. I mean, that's something that we talk about, is the camaraderie in pulling, and just how everyone, you know, everyone works together to try, you know, somebody's broken, people are there to help them out. Even at the starting line, you know, somebody has issues, you'll see, you know, 6 or 8 people around a vehicle trying to help them get it started, get it on the track. You know, everyone wants to win. That's why they're here. But they want to do it the right way. They respect each other, really care about each other, and you want to win on the track, not, you know, some other way. So just the people involved in pulling. Now, with your various forms of motorsports, you've been successful at everything, correct? I mean, there's been drag racing titles.
Pretty much.
You want to talk about some of those?
Do I?
Yeah.
Nah. Let's see.
Rona, would you like to?
Nah. I'll put it this way. I'm a lot better drag racer than tractor puller. In other words, you know, like I race Fords, supercharged. I race Chevys, Hemis. I've run them all in a not pat myself on the back thing, but I did really good with all of them.
Yeah.
And so it's very satisfying. In the pulling is just a good sport.
Yeah.
And it's like, it never took me this long to do good in anything before, but it's like I'm trying to have fun and not make this business, and you know, make it that to have fun, and so you don't go at it the same way. You know, when I was drag racing, but if I needed to, it was just all night long work on that thing, and we had our old worn out semi that we hauled our race car with, and my wife, who graduated as a school teacher from college, she became the truck driver because we'd work on the car all day and into the night, and she had to learn how to be a truck driver, and so it's like it hasn't been easy, but it's been fun.
Right. So this is your third Grand National title.
Yes. 3
different classes, different configurations. What would you say has been the most challenging, or what's the difference between the 3?
Oh, this the mini is very, very competitive.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
you have so many people, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but there's, like, we go to the show Rotella deal and things like that.
Yeah.
The competitors from the other organizations, they come too. So you're not just beating your head against the wall trying to beat these guys.
Right.
But those guys slip in there too, and their points count because they all become members.
Right.
So I'd say the mini, and the unlimited guys will go, no, it's unlimited.
Yeah.
But I'd say the mini is the hardest week after week after week.
Okay.
You know, to do good, and I'll go clear back. The first year I had one, there was a guy by the name of Max Smith.
Yes.
And Max Smith said, well, I'll tell you, I think I won 6 of the 11 Grand National Unlimited polls. I think that. Can't go to the bank on it, but it was something like that. And Max Smith goes, you know how you did all that winning in the Unlimited? He said, well, I'm here to tell you, it's not going to happen at Mini because there's too many little things that come into it. It isn't just making good horsepower and driving it right. There's so much luck with the little Mini. It's a fun thing to drive. I love it.
Absolutely.
But I love driving that Unlimited, and I like them all.
Yeah.
I like every aspect of everything that I have done in pulling.
Good.
It's a good experience, and you learn a little bit, and you gain them. You know, you have some friends, and I'm glad I've done it.
Yeah. So this year, speaking of winning, you won 4 times this year. One early in the season in Tomah to kind of kick it off, and then you were definitely close in the points hunt, and then through Chapel Hill, through Fort Recovery, took the lead at the first hook at Fort Recovery, and then that next weekend at the oldest Grand National Poll in the country in Langford, you swept that weekend, and that really seemed to. Did you get some momentum there? I mean, that really seemed to carry through to the end of the year.
No, I'll tell you, this is as truthful as I can be. I did pretty good at the first poll, Tennessee.
In Chapel Hill. You won at Rockwell.
Okay.
Yes.
I did pretty good there. I think I was like 3rd, and then I got a 1st and a 3rd at Tomah, and then I did this and I did that. And the first thing you know, it was like, geez, I'm actually leading the points.
Yeah.
And that was going into Fort Recovery, and at Fort Recovery, I made a mistake.
Okay.
I went to Fort Recovery and thought, I've got to be careful here. I just go down the track and don't mess up. I could maybe win this points thing.
Yeah.
And that was a big mistake. That was like, no, get your head on straight. It's too early in the year.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the points thing now.
Right.
And let's win. Let's just win, and whatever happens, happens. And so after not doing good at that poll at Fort Recovery, I thought, that's it. We're just gonna go run the heck, be competitive. So that's what really changed. That changed my way of thinking, and so we just went back to having fun and trying to win polls, and everything was great. And I didn't let the points thing do anything until I left Bowling Green. And after Bowling Green, I thought, geez, you got about a 25-point lead or whatever it was. I thought, I just need to go down the track, and maybe I can win.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I can win the points thing. So my view of what I was doing needed to be, let's go and have a good time. Let's forget about trying to win the points because you don't go at it hard enough.
Right.
And in a mini, you need to be ultra competitive at all times. You need to, yes. And that was one thing, like running the modified and the unlimited. I didn't run my stuff as hard, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
When you have a mini, you better have your A game.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I'm just talking about performance.
Right.
You know, maybe not driving or something like that, but you need to go at it aggressively.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Where I didn't need to, you know, so much with the modified and the unlimited, they have so much power. It was just do a good job of driving, and you didn't need to beat up your equipment. I mean, I don't mean like I got the same engine in my tractor. I never hurt one part on the engine all year. So it isn't like I was, killing the thing. It's just that you have to run it more on the ragged edge.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
So you wrapped up the season, second place, runner-up in Wasion to clinch the title. So, and we're taping this here at the Underleague. So again, what would you say were the biggest challenges this season?
What was the biggest challenge? Oh no, I don't have the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge would be maybe doing good at Bowling Green.
Okay.
Because Bowling Green will have 40-some tractors from all the organizations.
All over
That's
the
going to
country,
be
all over the world.
That's right. Yeah. We had 3 from other countries, so it's that's 40-some. I think there was 47 the first day, and as far as what was my favorite pull?
Yeah.
What
were the highlights of your season?
Bowling Green.
Okay.
Bowling Green. Out of 47, we got 4th the first day, and out of 43, we got second. Second.
Yeah.
2 foot from winning it on Saturday, and then that finalized the shell deal. Yeah. And we got the ring.
Nice.
And we got what else? Anyway, that has to top about anything I ever did.
Yeah.
For sure,
yeah.
anything I did this year
To win
in bowling.
the Shell Rotella Cup, the Bowling Green ring. To win the Grand National title. Those are all, those are huge accomplishments. So, so you won titles, been successful. What does it mean to have your biggest cheerleader here? How much is that? I know you touched on it a little bit, but how long have you guys been married?
55 years. 55 years.
So what does that mean to have her behind you, Ken?
Well, see that I say that
Next to you.
It makes it easier.
Yes.
It makes it easier. I don't have someone at home going, why are you spending all that money on that? Or gee, why can't we go? Why can't we take the boat out? Well, we don't have a boat. Or
Yeah.
Why can't we go play golf? Why can't we do that? Why do we have to go to the boat? I didn't have that. My wife, if that's what I wanted to do as far as the pulling went, that was fine. And that just makes it easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
No comparison to putting up with someone that doesn't want
Right.
you doing what you're doing.
Rona.
I have 2 things to say.
Okay.
When we were at Fort Recovery, the competitor said, the fat lady hasn't sung yet, Kenny, because he was real close. But Kenny says, but she's humming. And then the other thing that's really funny, I think this is funny. So we're pulling at Tomah, and they love us at Tomah.
They love you guys everywhere.
Well, I don't know. But this young couple comes up to us and says, oh, Grandma and Grandpa, we just love watching you pull. Oh, that's all.
And if they weren't filming this, I'd have to say what Caesar Koester would say. We all know we had a hell of a deal that happened there.
We did.
But Caesar, I wish I could do this on TV, but she was always giving me we got 3 chances. So you might guess what I would tell her. Anyway, that's the
We
end of
got
that
one.
story. Yeah, but how I did it. But
Right.
anyway, yes, we like pulling against it. We're very, very competitive family, and a terrible tragedy for a lot of people, not just the Koester family, but, you know, the Make-A-Wish people and all that. We, you know, definitely had a loss with.
We
Our boy
lost
Larry.
Larry Koester in Chapel Hill weekend. He's just a great ambassador for our sport. Just a better person than he was puller. I mean, just a great man, a great example for us all.
Right.
So he will definitely be missed. So who would you like to thank, Ken?
Well, I'd have to thank my wife for putting up with this whole thing. As far, and I'll say this, Marty has been a big help. Marty
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
He is there to do anything that I might need done, and he doesn't do mechanical thing. He's there to just be a great helper in whatever you need. And he also helps Joe.
Okay.
He helps Joe Eder also. And the, you know, we manufacture parts, so I have to thank my guys, you know, that work at the shop. We make parts for Joe and Russ Nichols. We make, build their
Nice.
motors.
Two
and
other
stuff.
Grand National champions for
Yeah.
2019.
So those guys back at the Hebe and Glenn and Dave, these guys are great. I like to thank them. And the thing that's really, the thing that really makes you comfortable is like, and I got to say this, even though I won the Cheryl Rotella Cup, I have to say my, experience with Senpico has been fantastic. But the Sen, like, we don't even worry about oil anymore. We put the Senpico on it and it stays fine.
Good.
And, naturally, I mean, I knew Ken Enderle when 30, 40 years ago, and I always liked Ken Enderle, and I really respect what he did for pulling,
Yes,
and putting
absolutely.
on this meet. It's a great thing, it's over and above what he really had to do. Anyway, that's about all I can say. I never talk this much, so.
Right. Well, once again, congratulations, Ken.
Thank you very much.
2019 Mini Modified Grand National Champion, Rona.